Joining me now from SMB Franchise Advisors, it's Dawn Abamondi. Hello, Dawn.
Hello, Jack.
How you doing?
I'm great. First time in Austin.
First time in Austin.
First time, and I'm here for almost a week.
Wow, that's nice. All of these franchise events and all of your time in franchising, first time in Austin.
Never been.
Welcome to that. And also joining from your team now, it's Shannon Wilbur.
Yes.
Shannon, how are you?
I'm doing great. Born and raised in Texas.
Yeah.
Been here many times.
Nice. So before we get into our main topic today, Shannon, tell me what you're doing with SMB Advisors now.
Yeah, so I joined the SMB team in September of this year, and they were wanting to add a vertical of coaching to their clients. They have 550 past clients and are consistently working with 50 or 60 brands, and so I'm coming in to kind of just be a guide to clients who choose to use SMB.
That's awesome. So, Dawn, how did you guys come up with this idea of we want to get into coaching? It's obviously a good move.
Very good question. So during the pandemic, actually, we started bringing some of our clients who had gotten to a point in their life cycle. They were past the early stages of launching their brand, but they weren't really outside of the emerging category, and just trying to bring them together and get through the shutdown. And we did weekly calls with some of those brands. They in then turn did weekly calls with their franchisees, but we didn't really have a way to keep up with that in the long term. And so we have had it on our list of things to do. And I had a really good time spent with Shannon after the annual leadership conference at IFA in Phoenix earlier this year. And we kept talking. And the rest, I think, is magical history.
Love it. So, Shannon, in all of the coaching you're doing right now,
Yes.
what seems to be sort of the top challenge that the folks you're working with have right now?
Yes.
Anything really sort of pop to mind is the biggest problem out there that you're helping people with?
Team. Managing a team, leadership issues, confidence. Honestly, it's when you are leading an organization, leading as an entrepreneur or a founder, it's very easy to second guess yourself, and just having someone kind of sitting beside you saying this is normal or this isn't normal, and being a guide, I think that's been really fun. So really leadership, team issues, franchisee relations.
Yeah.
And those are probably the top three things that when people come to me, sometimes they don't even know that that's what they're going to need help with. It just automatically comes out.
Yeah. Well, and I would assume you do some sort of exploration of what they're doing, and so you can kind of figure out what's wrong. Mm-hmm. Because I guess you're right. They wouldn't come to you and say, "Here are my top 3 problems. Can you help me fix it?" They don't know what they don't know, right?
One of my newer clients that I had before I joined the SMB team, they have 20 locations, and they had not been to any IFA events. They just were kind of doing it on their own, and so we did a 3-hour assessment, and within those 3 hours, I probably wrote out 30 or 40 things that we need to talk about. And so it's just, I think once you've done it before and you've been entrenched in the franchising space, if you're talking to an emerging brand, you can hear some of the things that maybe they don't even need to know. They don't know that they need to work on. So it's been really fun.
Yeah.
I love helping people, so.
That's cool.
And I love that I get a chance to work with the team at SMB. I did not know about SMB because we did not have, when we started franchising, SMB was not around.
Oh, sure.
And so I didn't know that you could hire someone to help you get into the franchise space. Man, had they been around,
right?
I totally would have hired them.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is, it's the easy button for people who want to franchise their business because they have so many people on the team. Now I get to say we have so many people on the team.
Nice.
And just that are subject matter experts in all things franchising. And I just get to honestly ride their coattails and come alongside and help some of the brands that have used SMB or are choosing to use SMB.
It sounds like a great partnership.
Yeah.
Dawn, besides coaching, tell us a little bit more about what some of the things that SMB does as far as getting someone launched.
Yeah, so if a small business owner decides to evaluate, open a new location, another restaurant, another retail store, another territory that might be an hour or two or more away from their home base, and they're thinking about franchising, then we help them go all the way through that process from start to finish. Finding a franchise attorney if they don't have one, we walk them through a competitive analysis. How do they go to market? What are their key terms? What is their unique selling proposition, which is sort of where I come in. Who might be an ideal franchise owner for them? How do they tell their story to really compel people to join them and follow and be those early adopters, those first few franchisees that are so important to build the brand right from the very beginning. And then our team helps with all of the regulations related to the Federal Trade Commission, state registrations, follow-up marketing, follow-up drip campaigns to talk to those candidates at a show like MFE, Franchise Expo Austin or IFE, etc. What do they tell along the process to help somebody make the decision to sign that franchise agreement? And then compliance from the perspective of educate, train, and make sure that the franchisees are following the brand guidelines through their operations manual. And it's really a soup to nuts kind of program, 12 months long. And then as they get through those different steps in the process from, okay, now you're legal, what do you do to find that first franchisee? Many of our clients stay on board with us on a retainer after that initial year, and we love helping them grow.
And that kind of leads us to where we're at today at Franchise Expo Austin. I know a lot of consultants or advisors launch someone into franchising, and then they say, see ya, good luck, have a good time, don't want to hear from you again. But you're actually here at this show and other shows really kind of holding their hand for their first few events. Is that right?
We do that. So our motto, and it's a registered tagline with SMB, it's all about the relationship. And our hope is that we keep in touch with our clients long after they launch. So whether they need us to help them grow or for coaching now that we have that opportunity, we want to see them become successful. Many of us were early stage franchisors. Some of us were franchisees. And so we understand what it's like to be in both of those sides of the fence. And we really just want to see them become a household name in their market or in their industry.
Nice.
So, we're here. We have 6 clients who are exhibiting at this show, and we're really thrilled to see them. Some of them sign on their very first franchise owner, and it might be from a candidate who walked the floor this weekend.
Yeah. That's what I always love hearing about after these shows. Like, okay, we all saw a good crowd. We all had a lot of good conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of the same thing over and over. But who's going to come back in a few weeks and say, hey, guess what?
I'm really interested.
Those guys we were talking to from Waco ended up going with us, right? You'll hear those stories soon. So The other event I wanted to ask you about is coming up in December. Tell me about the SMB event.
12/12, December 12th, all-day event in the suburbs of Philadelphia. This is our 15th year. We didn't always call it the SMB Summit. It used to be a holiday party. We started out with 6 clients. I was actually a client back in 2009 for that very first holiday networking event.
I didn't even know that. That's cool.
You didn't know that? I was on the client side. And now it has evolved. In the last probably 8 years, we've had pretty much a half day to greater than a half day event. education panels, networking. We have
Good food.
We have really good food, really good drinks. There is no cost for our clients to attend. We have our supplier partners come to get to meet some of the clients that we've introduced them to in person. We're happy to have you back again this year.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Doing podcasting at the event that day. And we're expecting 200 people to be there.
Nice. It was a great event last year. I'm looking forward to opening up the mics and talking to a bunch of great franchise brands there and hearing a little bit about their story.
Absolutely. Helping them get the word out.
If anyone's interested in being a part of that, if they're a supplier that works with you or something like that, do you still have room for some other people to sign on?
We do have some room, but it is very limited, and we are under 30 days to that event.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
if someone is interested, they can reach out to me, Dawn at SMB Franchising, or via LinkedIn.
Very cool. And Shannon, if anyone is interested in chatting with you about coaching, they don't know what they don't know, but they'd love to have maybe a conversation with you about that. Where's the best place for them to reach you?
LinkedIn, for sure, LinkedIn. But I also have a website called Shine Executive Coaching, and they can find me there as well.
All right, very good. Well, thank you both for the time today, and enjoy the rest of the week in Austin, Texas.
Thank you so much, Jack.